Today, we're going to set up a alternative shell. That alternative shell is called ZSH, ZSH. And in order to set up the alternative shell, the very first thing that we're going to do is we are going to SSH into our machine. And once we've SSH'd into the machine, I'm going to remind you that you should make sure that you have taken a new snapshot. We have done this previously, but if you don't remember how to do it, remember before starting up your machine, you can go into Hyper-V Manager, you can find your virtual machine, you can right click on it, and then you can choose checkpoint. And that will create a brand new checkpoint of the machine that we can roll back to just in case we have any problems. So now that we have opened up PowerShell and we have SSH'd into the FreeBSD machine, the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to type clear so that our cursor is at the top, and then we're going to type in sudo pkg install ZSH, and we're also going to install git, so that's GIT. So we want to install these two packages. We're going to hit enter. It's going to ask us for our password, and it's going to start the process of looking for the packages that we need. Now, very quickly, I'm going to choose no here, and the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to do sudo package update, hit enter, and I'm going to type in my password, and you'll see here the repositories are all up to date. Everything is completely fine. Nothing is waiting for upgrades. All of my packages are up to date. Your system, if you're following along and you have recently done your install and all of your updates, will probably say the exact same thing. However, it's always a good practice before you install packages to update the system. So we can press up on the keyboard to go back in and choose sudo package install ZSH followed by GIT. Hit enter, and it's going to have a number of items that it wants to install. So this is going to include Brotli, curl, expat, git, some library files here, mpdecibel, p5, followed by all of the packages for p5. And then you see PCRE, Perl, Python, readline, ZSH is down here, and then ZSTD. So we're going to choose yes. And it's going to start the process of installing ZSH. The next thing that we want to do is we want to open a web browser. On Google, just type in git followed by OMZ followed by ZSH. So OMZ ZSH, and that will take us to the GitHub page. Once we're here, you can take a look and you can see there are different ways to install Oh My ZSH. You have a lot of options here. If you wanted to, you could use the curl option. So what we can do here is we can select, we can copy, and before we actually paste this in here, what I would tell you to do is we can actually take this URL that's right here and we can copy this down. So we can choose copy. We can go back to PowerShell. We can type in curl followed by the URL and then -o and then install.sh. If we type in ls, you're going to see right here it says install.sh. And then what we can do is we can type vim followed by install.sh. And you'll find we don't have vim, so that's okay. We can type in sudo package install, and I'm going to actually install something called neovim for password. And it's going to ask me, do I want to install all these extra packages? And I'm going to say, yes, I do. Choose yes, and we're going to install that. Clear. And now I can type in vim followed by install.sh, hit enter, and now we can actually look at the script itself that's going to be run to install Oh My ZSH. So we can see exactly what commands are being run. We can see where it's getting our usernames from. We can see where it's finding our home directories. We can see if ZSH is available. And you can, if you'd like, if it makes you more comfortable, actually review the entire script from beginning to end by taking a look at it. Now, I trust Oh My ZSH. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chmod plus x install.sh, and then we can install. And it's going to go through and it's going to ask, do you want to change your default shell? I'm going to choose yes. It's going to ask me for my password so that we can accomplish that. I'm going to choose to put my password in. And now you can see Oh My ZSH is all set up and I am now running ZSH. And that install file, we're completely done with it. So we can rm install.sh, type clear. The next thing we can do is we can type exit. We can type exit again. This now completely removes us from that virtual machine. And then we can reconnect to the virtual machine. And you'll see that our default shell is now ZSH. And if we type in OMZ followed by hitting enter, you can see here that OMZ allows us to run different commands that we might want to run in order to customize ZSH. So I can actually type in OMZ theme, hit enter, and it will show us, would you like the list or set themes? So I'm going to go back, I'm going to type in list. And now this is a list of all of the themes that are available to me that I can use if I want to. And I'm going to look at a couple of these, and I'm going to choose to use, let's just pick one. Let's pick Candy Kingdom. So OMZ theme set Candy Kingdom. And now our theme is Candy Kingdom. And you can see if we touch file.txt ls, we can see we have a file. We can make directory test ls, and we can see that it has added colors and it has given us the ability to see different aspects of the theme. In addition to this, if you were to do something like make a directory called test git, you can cd into test git, we can type in git init, and it's going to initialize an empty git repository. And what you will see now is if you're in a git repository, it will actually add information such as the branches. So if you need to quickly see what branch you're on whenever you're inside of a git repository, you can do so. So we can type in git checkout switch B, and we could call this something like test. And now we're on the branch test. So we went from branch master to branch test. We can cd out of it. And now that we're no longer in that directory, the information related to the git repository is no longer there. We can rmrf that test git folder, hit ls, and we have completed setting everything up here.